Welcome back to another episode of Working on a Pod. Chris Olsen is joining us today.
Hello.
First time in the new studio. We love that.
Love seeing you. Gorgeous. Look how good you look.
Thank you.
If you're listening to this, go on YouTube later and watch it because he's stunning and still single.
You know, but we're not even like, I don't even think about that anymore, to be
me neither,
honest.
dude.
Like it, no, but I mean it. Like, I think in the past I'd been like, oh, I'm just, well, when you don't look for it, it finds you. And I'm not going to think about dating, and I don't even care anymore. And I would like say that, but I wouldn't really mean it. I think now for the first time, I'm truly, maybe it's just burnout, and maybe I'm like, I just don't care anymore.
Yay!
Or it's
good for you.
Yeah, it's true. I'm truly also just
Proud.
like, well, because we also have, lest we forget, this tour coming up.
Yeah, we got shit to
It's
focus on.
not going to really be much time to date. I feel like I'm going to find someone in my 30s, and that's going to be lovely.
Yeah,
and I
you're
also
still
think
a baby. That's what we did. Well, I found him at 22, but
yeah,
he was 30.
and then you
but 22 for a woman is pretty much
30. Yeah,
Oh,
we're
you guys
we're
grow
way
up,
more
you
mature.
grow up quickly. They do. Women,
Yeah.
they're more
Yeah,
mature.
way
But
fast.
for any
boys
of
takes us a while.
the women who are listening who are in
Yeah.
their 30s and single, you're fine.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah.
Jesus, I have to be like a PR crisis
Sorry.
team for you guys here.
Well, no, because then it goes.
Age doesn't matter at all. Here we go. I mean, it does sometimes. Oh God. Oh God. It's getting worse.
Okay,
We're on fire.
No, but we have our tour coming up. I'm okay. I think I'll date someone in my 30s, and I think people in general will like me more when I'm in my 30s. I feel like I'm just at the perfect age to be annoying. You know what I mean? To be a little.
You are not annoying.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I
But,
never once am like, well, no, I'm not.
What the hell does that mean?
No. I think I just think I love you so much.
Thank
when
you.
you go online and go, who cares if you think I'm annoying? I'm like, who thinks they're
Oh.
annoying?
A lot of people.
I don't see it. I
Granted,
want you to know I don't see it.
I appreciate that. It's definitely a corner of the internet.
I don't see them and I don't like them.
No, I appreciate that.
No.
I appreciate that. I think, I don't know. I've just, I also like half of the time I'm like, I get you, because like we all have self-esteem issues. So if someone on the internet, as I'm sure you can relate to, if they tell you that they don't like something about you, that's always been an insecurity, or that's a back of the head insecurity that you didn't realize you had. And then they said, oh, by the way, I think this sucks about you. And they comment that, but you've never actually thought it. Then you see it and you're like, oh, they must be right, or something.
I didn't know that this is like an insult I get that you've found with me that trips my brain up sometimes, is that my music sounds like
the same.
Christmas music.
Oh.
Sounds the same. Was another one. Wow.
The Christmas music, I feel like, is the one that
This
you
pod
said.
has got me sweating.
No.
No, people go
okay,
like,
also,
wow, your
I want
songs
to
sound
jump
like
ahead of the
Christmas,
gun here.
which I think is a compliment.
I also have defended her music sounds the same take multiple times on my TikTok. So me answering that.
Defended their comment or defended me?
Defended you. Jesus, what the fuck are you? Oh my God. Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you right now. I agree with them because I think they're kind of right, and it's time to branch out. No.
My shit doesn't sound the same.
No, exactly.
You just haven't heard it all.
The reason I finished that sentence is because I go to bat for that
You
take,
do. I
because
love
I'm
you.
like,
Thank you.
y'all have you. People, I think social media is kind of the reason for this, is that everyone just stays exposed to what's being fed to them rather than tries to like do any research on their own. That's
Correct.
the whole issue with like,
I know. I'm like, there's a whole album, you know.
Yeah.
Also, it's never enough, because for artists that technically change up their style or something, like, oh, it just sounds so different. Like, why can't they sound like
Why
what they
can't
did
you sound
before?
like- yeah,
What do you
like,
want?
what do you
Do you want the same? Do you want different? What do
Yeah.
you want?
So I do try, when people are like, this has nothing to do with today, but they're like, do you write for you, or do you write for TikTok, or do you write for your fans? I'm like, I really want to like it when I leave the room. I want to be like, that's a banger that
That's
I
all you
want
have
to
to worry
play.
about.
Yeah.
You need to like
Nicki
it.
Minaj said that to me. She was like, well,
Oh,
do
really?
you like it? And I was
Wow.
like, yeah, I love it. And she's like, that's all that matters. And
Yeah.
I was like, thank you.
yeah, that's how I feel about my content sometimes. Is you could probably write a song too that you're like, okay, well, I know this is what my label is looking for, and if I
Yeah.
write this thing, they'll like it, but you're not gonna love it. I think for a long time I was making the kind of content that I was like, well, I know this is gonna do well. I don't really care if I like it or not, because numbers being high means I'm successful. when I'm like, oh, that's actually not fully the truth. Yes, there is a level of that shows success monetarily and through your analytics, but that doesn't mean I was actually happy making any of the content that I was. Not to say that I'm like, oh, I hate all of my content, but I've talked about it in YouTube videos. I've talked about it when like TikTok was getting banned, my eras and the certain eras of content that I didn't like. There were plenty that I was like, oh, I was just I really wasn't even thinking about it that much doing it. It started out as something that I really liked, but then it became something that I was like, okay, I'm just kind of doing this for maintenance of it all.
Are we
But
talking about
people
the
also loved it.
filters?
That was one of them.
Like the
I mean, I
games or the
stopped doing the coffee videos at one point, not because I didn't like them, but because I was just kind of like, God, I
a
just
bit
really run these
Isn't that
bits to
crazy
Yeah,
the
that
a
ground.
bit
that's
gets
like
burned out.
your that's like those are like your songs. Those are
You
like
know,
your
Yeah.
a little bit,
your
yeah.
signatures. It's so sick.
Right,
We're
right.
here because you two are going on tour in 2 weeks and we're
Yeah, we
promoting it.
are.
The Club Chris tour featuring Ryan Trainor. But I like diving deep with you. Do the
That's all I
numbers
do.
at some point in your career, because you're so successful and I love your career and I'm
Uh,
so proud of you. At some point in your career, can I ask you this?
yeah.
Do the numbers drive you crazy?
like
Not that they drive
Like,
you.
did you live at 1.4 numbers?
Well, I think the issue of also being an addict is the numbers no longer
Mm.
satisfy you.
Oh,
So I was doing those filter videos and I was getting like within 2 months, I got like 2 billion views or over 1 billion views from just posting those filter videos every day. But it was never enough. I was like, okay, now the issue is every time you reach a new peak, that becomes your standard. And so when you hit a certain level, which I'm sure is the same for music, it can be the same for
yeah, but luckily I peaked really hard right away, so nothing will be that good.
It's a curse.
You know,
Word.
it's a curse,
dude.
blessing and a curse. I wrote another Macarena, but also I will never achieve that. I've forgotten,
No,
but I
that's
will.
not true.
I shall, and
Never
I will.
again is false.
But luckily, I
it's
peaked
hard.
really hard early
Oh.
on, so now I'm just riding the wave.
Oh, okay. But what's interesting too is like that's your perspective of it, you know?
Yes,
Like
that's my perspective.
there's-
Everyone's like, dude, you are Meghan Trainor. And I'm like, "Ooh," you know? Like, what do you mean? Like, I had a song a long time ago that some people know, and I'm the bass girl, you know? That's how I still see
yeah,
myself.
and
And I'm like, no, I
Right.
made you look too.
sure, but there's always going to be people who say to me too that like, oh, are you bringing someone a coffee when I see them in public and I haven't done a coffee video in 2 years?
Yeah.
Or someone comments, wait, what happened to Ian? He's single now? And then it's
No
like, oh, that was
way.
so long ago.
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of goes back to the point of what I was saying at the start of this of like, people only really care to take in what's already fed to them.
Yes.
And
Proud of you
that's
for
like
saying that. Who taught you that?
Thank
Your
you.
therapist?
That was just came from up here.
Wow.
Well, it was a
I
whole,
needed that. I haven't even heard of that. I didn't even process that. That's so smart. Yes.
Well, that's what's hard about like our jobs is there's so much self promotion, and we feel like
Mm.
you and I both know when you come out with a new song, we're posting 5 million TikToks to it, and it feels like you're being incessant and shoving it down people's throats. And there are
Yeah.
certain people who are seeing every single one of those videos and saying this is getting a little old.
Yeah.
But every time you post one of them, it's also reaching someone who has never heard the song
No,
before.
yeah, it's so hard because like promo is awesome because then you get more listeners, but
Yeah.
it's also so embarrassing sometimes. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, this is embarrassing. And they're like, because all these people will hear it or
Right.
they'll read this newspaper. And I'm like, I don't read newspapers. And
Right.
they're like, well, you're different, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yes.
it's a
I've
confusing
heard you
world.
say you're like, I'm sick of me.
I'm sick of
I'm
me. I was like,
sick of
I'm
me.
sick
Oh,
of
and
me. They
that's how I
must be
feel,
sick of me. I'm like,
yes.
should I? You know what I've never done, even though people might think I have, is hit away for 4 years and make an album in Bahamas. You know, I've never been
Harry
that.
Styles, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
That guy
dude.
gets to
But I think you have to
disappear.
be a certain level of successful to
right,
do
right.
that. But I've never. I'm constantly like, as soon as I'm done with the wrap of one album, I'm like, better start writing. You know.
But I think your
Just
brain
chasing
works
my
well
tail.
with that. Like you have to keep going. And
Yes,
going
I
and
do
going 'cause
notice
you get a little
that-
antsy pantsy.
I
When
get a little
you got nothing
antsy.
going on. You'd be like, I'll get
I'm
you.
an
I'll get you. I'll
anxious
get
gal.
you.
She's
So I
anxious.
think this is good for you.
And I get that from my father
yeah,
Yeah.
because they did a blood
Yeah.
test or they did. I got his brain examined,
yeah.
which I'm so glad I did because they put like blue dye in his arm and they can watch his brain when he's doing something. When he has a
Uh-huh.
task, his brain's happy and like
Mhm.
sparking up, and when he's not, well, it shuts down.
Wow.
It's down,
Yeah.
and so everything shuts down. Happiness, emotions, and you're just
You
like,
gotta be
"Bleh."
doing something.
So I am on my days off, on my weekends, which are not days off because we have no one at the house. So it's just us with the toddlers. I'm chasing kids, I'm making food, and I'm doing everything. I'm also like what part of the house can I clean? You know,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like,
Capricorns.
what can we achieve? And Daryl's like, sit down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but
How do you do it? You make a TikTok.
Yeah, but also that's the issue too, is sometimes when it feels like the fix would be to work or to like put myself in front of people and keep putting myself out there and pushing through, I'm sick of seeing myself.
It is
I'm
weird that
sick of
you are
making
your
videos
job.
myself. Yeah, and so like I'll have these random manic moments where I private every single video on Not All Sim Chris because I think these are all so annoying and I hate every single one of these videos. And then
It's
I'm like,
tough that it's you, like
whoa.
as creatives too. It's like your face.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when people are talking to me about my songs or a quote that I had or something, I'm like, and they try to like help me or they try to change it. I'm like, yeah, but it's my face that has to go out there. This
Mhm.
whole album artwork is up to me. They look
Yeah.
at me if it's weird or not good. Like
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're going on tour. I'm so excited for you. I cannot stop talking about
That
me.
would be
Coffee
very-
is not
I
good for
love
me.
this conversation. What do you mean? This
Do
is
you really?
amazing.
We are
Yes,
getting
this is
deep.
very, very good.
Sorry.
That's all I do.
Let's talk
I
about
just
me.
immediately go. Well, I go deep and talk
I
about
love
myself.
going
Oh my
deep.
god, that's the other issue of. Oh, that's the other issue of like social media is like you're talking. I feel like I'm talking about myself all the time, and every time if you turn it back to other people, it's like, oh well, there's an ulterior motive, or he's just doing this because it's reactionary, or you're just doing like the immediate response when I created Club Chris that this was just a marketing tactic and I was just doing it for personal gain.
No,
I'm
I
like,
would
my
tell you.
God.
I would let you know if that was a
I'm
marketing
also
tactic.
just like,
He just did
I
that one day.
appreciate you. I'm not that smart. Like
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to just think that
This is
far
all
ahead
like
and
a-
think, oh, I
like,
know
how fun would
exactly how
that
this is
be?
going to happen.
I looked at it as you wanted just a world where it was people that really loved everything that you did and other like-minded individuals to all
Yeah.
come together. So you could just like private the account. You won't have to worry about people just straight up hating
It
constantly.
truly wasn't like
It was just like, let
wasn't
me
even
create my own little space of like I could post the fun stuff I want to post on this account and
Yeah,
not
you
have
were
to worry
like-
about brands and sponsors and all
Yes.
this
Yeah,
other
it
stuff.
was like, I'm going to go over here on this island if you would like to come with me.
Yeah, it was very. It felt
Safe
very
place.
organic.
It was more just like, oh, I just want a place where if I can block someone who makes a mean comment and then there's no chance that they're going to be back in and be able to make that comment again. Like
Yeah,
that was the baseline of it because I was receiving a bunch of negativity. And then of course, like as this is my job, it got to a point where I was like, oh, if I want to start doing YouTube, I'm going to let Club Chris know that I'm doing YouTube. Like at the end of the day, it is a page that I everything I do on social media, if I'm posting, is technically self-promotion. Like I could just be posting a video that's just a thirst trap or me like smiling. And that's me promoting that I'm like a happy person that you might want to be friends with. Like everything we do in life, if I'm having a conversation with you, I'm like I'm always we're always marketing ourselves in a way of like, here's what I'm going to talk about. Here's how I'm going to spin it. Like if you're meeting someone, if you're doing anything publicly, it's a little bit of marketing. So I've always had a little bit of a question mark when people have been like, all he does is market himself. And they say that in a negative way. Like,
You're like,
well,
I'm crushing it then.
I don't know what else. Yeah. I mean, also,
are you
what is
digging?
not marketing myself? If
Period.
I could post and there's a way to post that isn't marketing myself at all, then great. But I could post a video that says, tell me how you're feeling. I don't want to talk about myself. And then people would say, well, no, he's just doing this because people think he's selfish and this is such a lie and he's
The
fake.
hair
And there are
drop.
people who are just determined to misunderstand you. And I'm not trying to pander towards those people anymore.
Love it.
Yes. So that's why we're going
Be
on
like
tour.
Ariana Grande. I have no
Yeah,
room for that.
Yes.
She said it perfectly. She's so brilliant.
She
I want to
holds
know
no
every book she
space for
read.
that. Oh, my close friend, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
how was that?
I saw.
I never really.
Megan's. Listen, I have a number one pop star friend. That's always.
Anytime he's with another pop star, a piece of me dies, and that was a big one because she's a big pop star. We love her.
We love
But
her.
I
We
feel
love
like
her. But I was
She's
like,
now in this whole new world.
oh,
But that doesn't mean I'm about to.
leave me forever.
I would never leave you forever for anyone.
I'm tearing up.
I can see that. I would never leave you.
No, I need y'all to
I
know.
will never leave you. That's musical theater,
Other
by the
pop
way.
stars are texting him, and the jealousy.
Oh, stop.
It's like,
And where am
Really?
I right now?
really? Sorry, I just broke your ears. I'm so sorry.
Where am I
Why?
right now?
Yeah.
You're here and we're promoting your tour. Are you so excited for your tour?
It's so
Guys,
excited.
Rai, say something. We've been blabbing.
I can't get enough of it.
I
I'm
can't-
just
I thought you were
enjoying
gonna go,
the
I
show.
can't
He
get a
loves
word
it. Oh
in.
my God.
No, yeah.
He doesn't have to talk. Like
Yeah,
he's
this is
living
my
his
dream.
dream.
Rai, no one knows how funny you are. Come on, talk.
No, I've been very fascinated about Chris and the club Chris. These are all things I've wanted to know, and like
True.
how
Yeah.
it
We worry about you.
affects
We talk
and-
about it. We
Thank
go, Do
you.
you think
It's a
he's
lot.
living for numbers?
Well,
and I'm like,
No. I don't think he's living
life.
for numbers. I
There's
think
also
you're on the platform constantly and engaging with everybody, and that takes a toll on a person. There's so much you could
Yes.
take in where it's like, because you're a very empathetic person, people might, if they don't know you too well, they're like, oh, he only cares about himself. Absolutely false. You care about
He cares too
everybody
much
in
about
the club.
others.
I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Let's reel it back.
Wait,
and-
also, I do have a question for you.
Like you're an angel. You're a saint.
Yeah, too much.
But it's
So,
a lot. Doesn't it?
I'm
takes a toll.
sure.
Wait.
Yes. All I wanted to just interject really quick is that while it is a lot, I'm not complaining about my life at all. And I'm very grateful
Yes,
for all
yes.
of it. And I could be doing 5 million different things that I'm so much happier that I'm doing this. That being said, it comes with a unique set of challenges. And that's all I'm saying.
That not a lot of people understand unless they're in your shoes.
And that's okay. And I'm still very grateful and privileged and blessed.
I kind of understand, so that's why we get along. I'm like, heads up, this is coming. That means
Yes,
you're
you
successful.
give me a lot of advice.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Skims, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the businesses making selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify.
That's right. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And their not so secret weapon, their Shop Pay feature that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales across the finish line. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell whenever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, and in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between.
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/workingonit. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/workingonit to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/workingonit.
I'm sure that not all my comments are super nice. I'm sure that there's mean stuff.
Oh,
I don't see it.
yeah. I don't.
Also, I don't. Do you look for it?
No. Even from the start of social media, when I started doing it, I was like, I'm not going to scroll. I don't really care to scroll that deeply in the comment section. Like, whatever is at the top is what I'm meant to see, and for the most part, people are nice. It's rarely like my comment sections. It's more
Where is
people
it? Oh
making
yeah, you see
videos.
videos. I
Oh.
don't see those, and
I
that's
filtered my own name
horrific
from
because
my.
that's like they took the time out of their day
Mm.
to say this.
Yes, but you know what it is? It's not really the person who made the video. It's the large numbers
The
of
likes.
people agreeing in the likes and the comments and the favorites and the shares. I'm like, wow, this is generating a lot of conversation.
It's a big
and then it's what
crowd.
your mind makes
Yeah,
up
yeah,
that
yeah,
people
yeah.
are saying. I had a thought the other day of like, I saw a TikTok go viral from my high school because it's a performing arts high school. And so that actually happens often is like TikToks from that high school go viral because these people are singing in the mall or some shit like that. And I was like, God, I bet if I went there, they would all not like me. Like I would be, they would be like, why the fuck is Chris Olsen here? Like this is I feel like I'm kind of like, there was a point at which maybe I was like cool to have gone to that school. But now it's like, now I don't think I'm very cool, which I'm not really trying to be. But at the end of the day, I think I have received so much feedback about who I am as a person, not that I'm problematic or that I'm doing anything inherently wrong, simply that I'm annoying, that is what comes through in my own head most often. And that's why I
No.
think I will go through these random like episodes of like, I need to delete everything and try to start a new vibe or try to like rebrand and be this cool person and like Addison Rae my life or do something like that. And I'm like, I just don't know how, nor do I think I really want to, because I'm happy with who I am for the most part day to day. But then it's impossible to not start believing something that you hear said to you a million times.
Yeah.
Like that's what's really hard is, yeah, I can remove myself. I can go to as much therapy as possible. I can say positive affirmations in the mirror and say, you're beautiful, you're cool, you're not annoying. But then if I'm going to bed and scrolling through my TikTok at the end of the night and I see another think piece of how annoying I am and it has like 100K likes, I'm like, okay,
No,
I
that's
will
tough.
say,
That's
unfortunately, like
bullying.
that's different.
but it's
bullying.
yeah, and it's
Wow.
not just you. Like people make a living nowadays just talking shit about other people, and the algorithm feeds them views.
Yeah,
like
I
that's,
promise
that's
you,
everyone gets just
I've
like
never seen a video anyone's ever made about like, here's why I don't like Chris Olsen. I've never
Right.
seen one.
right, but
Appreciate it.
I only find out because you make a video that goes,
right.
hey.
I
And
know.
I
Which
go, what the fuck? Why is
there
he
was-
talking to this person and
I
giving them
know.
light?
And there was I think for basically almost all of that first half of 2024 when I started receiving it at a volume that I started feeling like it was affecting me from,
Mm-hmm.
I spent most of the first half of that being like, I am not going to address it because
Mm-hmm.
there are plenty of people who don't know about it and I'm giving them my platform by addressing it.
yeah.
I'm not going to address it. I'm not going to address it. And it just kept happening. And as with each incident, a little chip away at my soul happened.
I remember that.
Then by August, when I decided to like really blow up on everyone, I was just like, I have nothing. Me ignoring it isn't working
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I'm so miserable.
Yeah.
I feel I'm not sleeping at all.
I remember
I
that.
feel sick. I feel like I don't even know who I am. And so none of this is working. So let me try the other extreme, which I'm not here to say if that was the right thing to do
I
or
like
not.
the rebuttals because you had a lot of good shit to say, and I was
You
like,
did have a lot
yeah,
of good
there
shit
it
to
is,
say.
good shit.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah,
being said, though, it's like, there are plenty of people who that's what I gave them the
Yeah.
ultimate thing that they wanted.
Right.
Went
They see me
straight to my
crash
For You
out.
page.
Yeah, you see me crash out on the internet and like, you got it, you won. But at the end of the day, I knew that in my head and was like, I know I'm letting them win, but like, whatever, you win.
Yeah, you reached
How many
your point.
times do we need to see someone go crazy before we all take a step back? And if someone's annoying us, we just stop talking about them or to them.
No, it's crazy. It's adult bullying. It's crazy.
But it never ends. Like I'm receiving it at a level so much smaller compared to like the way people have gone through it with the media in like the 90s and the 2000s.
yeah.
And yet we have seen what happened to those people or what they went through and how hard it was for them to come back. And yet we just
they're
keep
still
doing
doing
it
it,
and it
yeah.
doesn't stop. And
Sucks.
and that's it, it's okay. And it's not my job to like teach the world kindness and like try to change something. But I think on my end, what I can try to do more is continue giving my energy to the people who do appreciate what's going on. Because that's the thing is like, if you think about it in terms of a Yelp review, think about when you go to like a restaurant and it's horrible. You're so much more inclined to maybe say something to people about how horrible it is, rather than if you had a really good time, you might like tell a friend a good recommendation. But like people leave bad Yelp reviews because they're so inspired when they're angry. When people love something, you can love it, and that's just like that. And it's silent. It's silent love. So
True.
like for the most part, that's how I also try to think of it without fully depersonalizing myself and saying people are just leaving me Yelp reviews. But I'm like, there are plenty of people. I wouldn't have these 13 million followers if they all hated me.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of people who do enjoy
People
what I
love
do.
you.
And they double tap the video and they swipe on and they have no idea that there are people who absolutely hate me. And that's great. And those are the people who I want to continue making content for. Those are the people who we're going to meet on tour. Those are the people who are going to be in the room with us. And
So
that's going
what
to be a
dates
lovely
aren't
place.
sold out? Who are we talking to?
Oh, well,
we got to talk to.
the,
You want to go?
well, what the most important one for me, I would say,
Your
that there
hometown?
are still tickets available is that hometown show.
Hometown.
I don't know if there's any. I think meet and greet might be sold out for that one, but if it's not, we'll meet you. But also the hometown show, that first show, there were still some tickets available the last time we talked, and that's just going to be like a very high stakes #1 show because that's
big show.
That's the first one that
Oh
we're doing.
no, the first one is your hometown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who booked this tour? I'm gonna kill them.
DC. Hometown.
That's great. That's
I mean, it's
great.
Maryland.
It's Maryland. Okay,
Which
Maryland.
It's actually
Maryland.
even closer to my hometown than if it
Show
were a
up,
DC
show
DC
support, please. Who knows if I'm gonna be there? Yeah, I want to go
That's
to the
gonna
first
be a fun
show.
one.
And Daryl's like, no, we're not going to the first show. I was like, come on. I
It's-
love when my managers show up on my first show. I'm like, oh, I must be
You're
the belle
not our
of the ball.
manager.
Yeah, but I
You kind of manage me.
I
Yeah.
birthed
But
you.
like,
too.
what would you?
No,
Yeah,
I-
like that's a cross country flight. That's huge.
That's
for
a
you.
big flight.
Crazy.
It's a
The
big
only
flight.
thing that gets you across the country is like
Money.
You're
New
right.
York promo.
Work
I
or
was
promo.
yeah.
Work
But
or
also
work.
money, yeah.
No.
Or like overseas or something like that.
Well, like, are you so excited? So wait, also let's
I-
talk about how it started. Like you guys were on tour with me and you just had so much
And
fun.
then Tara from Live Nation said, "Hey, you're so much more talented than Megan. Would
Yeah.
you like?"
No, like,
she
we
said,
d-
She was like, I
none
want to
of
have
us
fun
knew.
making a
Oh.
tour.
You've never toured before. You've never toured
God,
before.
no.
Excuse me, I'm burping.
Hello.
And you opened for me, and it was like the coolest. I felt like the coolest superstar ever, and all my fans got to really, and all the family, all the fans you danced with, and like put on. You came off that stage, Ryan, every day, dripping sweat. Took 3 showers a day, because you were so disgusting.
Yeah.
Because you were putting so much work into it, and I've never felt more proud, more honored, more special. Like he's doing that for me,
Yeah.
for my fans, for like my show. And I was like,
It
you
was-
got something, kid.
Well,
you
I
know?
put it all together. I go, she's giving me an amazing opportunity. I love my sister so
That's
much. I have no
crazy.
business being up there. And then I also thought, again, Megan hasn't been on tour in what, 8 years?
8 years.
I was like, they are ready for a fucking show.
Yeah, you got to
better
amp
turn
them
it
up.
out.
Your fans show up early because
They did show up. They were like
they-
all there for
they
you.
were just-
to the point where I started jumping out to say thank you
Yeah.
for showing up early.
they were
you
there
know?
at 6 o'clock.
didn't
I
gotta
go,
be there
I
at
gotta get out
6.
there and get something
I
rolling
never
here.
see the openers. So I was like, what are you doing
The
here?
people showed up. I go, thank you for showing up. Let's have some fun.
And then by then they were all warmed up, ready to go
Yeah.
for you,
My
who
favorite
have
just going,
never toured
"Chris
ever.
Olsen."
Chris Olsen, you
Yes,
started a
that's
very lovely.
chant, and they loved you.
Well, yes.
Oh.
Yes, no, and they did. It was just
Even
like
when your screen content didn't work.
which
They
that
loved
was the
you.
first show,
The
which
very
was
first
big.
show.
But
I
yeah,
could've killed someone.
there were definitely like every night, which I'm like looking forward to seeing splitting the difference of this. But every night I would like lock eyes with like some dad who has no idea what's going on.
Yes.
And I would be like, oh my God.
And you were so good at calling them out. When you were like, if you have no idea what's going on,
Yes, which is why I would do
your
the
best friend.
that's why I
Yeah.
would do that presentation of who I
brilliant.
was, because I was like, I'm not about to show up to this thing and just assume, oh, they all know who I am already. I was like, I'm about to get up there and sing like musical theater in Disney. Some people are going to be confused, but that's why also at the start I said, if you don't like any of this, please go get a drink, get some merch.
Get some merch.
And then ultimately, you ended up selling a lot of merch.
Oh, I
looks
did. It
looks
worked.
like I really
Looks like you should have
turned it
cut
out
of
a little
that.
bit. No,
Yeah,
but
we did good merch.
we had a good time. And so ultimately, I'm excited to then go into a room where there will still probably be some dads who are like, ugh, I don't know, my daughter dragged me
She
to this,
dragged
but
me
I
to
guess
this.
I'll come. But we're going to try to make sure that they have a good time too, because
Sometimes
a
the
lot.
dads are the craziest. They're the best. Like my favorite audience.
I think
like,
it'll take a warm up. But
yeah.
we have, I mean, Ryan's going to warm them up very well by the start of his
He
set.
loves the daddy.
It's not even a warm up. Ryan's a begin. So they're already
Ryan's
by the
a
time
begin.
Yeah.
by the time I come out, they'll be all lubed up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. Ryan and I hung out the other day and like went through his
Set
set list as well.
Can you give us any teasers, any tastes of what's good?
Abracadabra on
my
repeat.
Oh,
God,
That's
yes.
all I'm
hell
playing.
yeah. I just did, I don't know why I said it like that.
I don't know either.
I just did a TikTok with Chris for
Almost.
Abracadabra. Almost
Almost done.
It's
Okay.
one transition ones,
Yes,
you know?
hell
Just
yeah.
like she did, the queen herself.
Absolutely.
Hope she sees it.
Queen. I bet she will. She's been responding to all
She
of those.
commented on our post.
Working
Yeah,
on a
oh,
pod.
that's
Wait.
right.
Gaga, you see us and we see you and we love you, Gaga. Lady Gaga. We love you.
Chris
We're
noticed
going to
it.
print it out and frame it right here.
I tried to print it. I was so
Honestly,
blurry. I need to
yeah.
ask your
Yeah,
friends there,
Scott how to do it.
Scott how to do it.
I love this era for her so much.
We love her. We love her. We love her.
It's so good. And this new
It's
song.
so good. Gosh, she's
Oh my
saving
God.
pop.
It's just giving like it's exactly it's not only is it the old Gaga vibe that we loved, it's still
Fresh.
yes.
I know.
Yes.
She nailed it. A++.
And the music video, I watched that as if it's like a baby sensory video. It's like Cocomelon to me. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
run it back.
Run it back. Oh, yeah. I've
Especially
seen it like
the part
8
where
times.
she's sitting and the camera's
Oh,
spinning.
love it. I want to learn the full dance. I want to be taught. I want to
Yes.
do it.
Well, I'm gonna make Ryan learn it at some point because we're gonna have to do like a TikTok like that on tour. But you and I can do it too.
I'm down. I'll do it.
She really is dancing.
She's dancing,
dancing.
and looks like 20 years old.
Yeah, she looks gorgina.
So scorchine.
Nice.
It's the glow of being in love.
No.
Yeah, which everyone is, I guess, these days.
Listen,
Again, when
dude,
I'm 30.
30s.
Yes.
How is Megumi?
She's fantastic.
Who is
Shout
We
out
that?
love
Megumi.
you. Shut up.
Please
She
cut that
watches
line.
this. You
No,
fuck.
I'm kidding. Megumi and I have this vibe. We like joke often. She's
Yeah,
like,
well,
haha, I hate you. And
sometimes-
I'm like, ah.
She never.
She's
She
like,
goes,
ah.
she goes, I
and then we're
saw-
choking each other.
she's
And then she
like-
punches me in the face.
like,
And then we're like,
Hi,
ah.
Chris.
And then
I
I'm
saw you
bleeding.
hated me again.
No,
Hi.
no, that's not what happens. I really do love her. I love her. And we're such
Be
twins
nice to her.
because
She's my sister
no,
now.
I know. And her and I are both such big Swifties, and I love her for that.
We got into a little fight because
Wait, why'd you get into a fight?
because I claimed that she was a Swiftie, and it takes a lot of like, you are a true fan of T Swift. She enjoys a few songs. She doesn't have the honor and the privilege to call herself a Swiftie.
Yeah, she's not there yet.
You have to reach a high
Totally.
rank.
She doesn't
in
have the
fan-
bracelets.
And
Totally.
so she was like, "Hey, I'm not there."
She was
Yeah.
like, I'm a Meghan Trainor fan.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
she
you're
was
right.
like,
You're allowed
"You're
to
my
love
number
T
one
Swift.
pop star,
I
Jen."
love T
I was like,
Swift.
you can love everybody.
You know what it
Yeah.
is too? We started on a bad foot because one of the first times we met was the day that you like pushed
You're
me
the
out of the
only
way.
one on a bad foot. But yes,
Yeah,
he did
well,
push you.
and
He
whose
knocked
fault
you
is
down.
it? It's Ryan. He pushed me out
literally-
of the way. So
he
I
has a big
I was
donkey
already-
dog,
Grabbed
and
a bag, and I
he booty rubbed you, and you cried.
No. It was an arm. It was an arm.
Oh.
I was
He
standing,
shoulder checked
not
you?
even that close, but it was just like, listen, I was already.
I'll never forget that day.
we
You were
weren't
crying.
getting, we weren't
And
getting
I
a lot
said,
of
"What the
sleep on
fuck
that tour
happened?"
bus.
No.
So yeah, Ryan pushes me out of the way. So
Punches
I'm
me
like,
in the
okay,
face.
I'm gonna square this away by myself. And I walk into
Cried.
cried as if this is like a new thing. Oh my god, he cried. This is the first time Chris Olsen ever cried. Me crying is like me sneezing.
I
I got a little
know.
sick, and because Ryan pushed me. And then, but Megumi that was the first time she was spending the night in the dressing room with us, and I was just like, the vibes were down from me.
Mm.
And so I felt awkward too, because I was like, oh, I'm not able to give her my best self.
Mm.
And then, we just didn't really have a time to make up after that.
And
I
that
haven't
time
seen her
is
since
soon.
then.
I'm sorry for
so
pushing you, dude.
weird.
I'm pretty sure I just grabbed my bag and bumped into you, like walking out.
He's
No,
in
it was before he
Massachusetts,
grabbed the
bro,
bag.
It was
dude.
before.
It was before you pushed
He
me
has
out of the
no
way to grab the
sensory
bag.
of anything or one around him.
I know.
Probably on your
you know?
phone posting it. I'm like, get the fuck out of the
No,
way.
I
Let me
was
get my-
literally standing with my back wasn't even to you. It was it would have been so easy to ask me to move. That's
Oh
all
my
I'm
God.
saying.
No, to be fair, for no one, the rooms were the size of this table. Your rooms were always like
Oh,
the
yeah, we
ones
were
that you would
always
share.
This
sharing
was by the
really
bus
small.
where I bumped into
Oh,
it.
you were outside?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right.
And as we were
No,
walking in, I
listen,
could sense
it's-
something was off. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? As we were walking to the
You
dressing
came to
room.
me before you came to me and said something's wrong with him. Something's
I
up
just
today.
didn't notice bumping
But
into
he
him. I
always
Something's off today.
he's always kind of saying that. He's
Because
like,
he
"Why
was
is
worried
Chris
about
crying
you.
on
Yeah,
the
he's like,
internet
this
again?"
motherfucker's crying.
I'm like, whatever. Just honestly, just whenever
Oh,
that's
that's why. Because you posted it. You posted you
Oh yeah, but I didn't
crying.
say I'm mad about
And I
Ryan.
said,
I just said
we're
I feel a
all
little
there.
sad.
We're all there, and you posted, I'm sad. And we go, didn't we just see him 4 seconds ago? What made him sad? And then he told me, and I was like, oh, Chris.
And you know what my rehab would call that? Attention-seeking behavior. And I still occasionally exhibit that. And you know
Oh.
what? It's all about being able to admit when you're the problem.
my couples therapy that we just started, me and Daryl did. I don't know if he's cool with me talking about it, but I'm gonna. He was incredible, but he noticed immediately that you know how I'm like clingy and whatever, and I'm always like, I'm codependent.
What?
Yeah, you know.
Whoa.
He said, I'm not codependent. I have attachment issues.
Oh,
Where I'm like, "Bleh, I need you.
you're
Bleh,
anxious
I'm
attached.
anxious. He goes, there's always an
Yeah.
anxious one and an avoidant one. Is that the word? Avoidant?
Did you say
and-
Daryl is avoidant
Yeah.
attached?
Yeah.
Wow.
He like, if
He'll
I'm like,
shut down.
he'll
He
shut
won't
down and
express.
he'll leave. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I needed you. Where were you? And he's like, too much. It was too much. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I go, unfortunately
Ah.
for you, Daryl, she's used to me snapping back. She's used to like a fucking.
sack
like-
up
she's
and
like,
battle,
all focused,
bro.
like,
And he's
"Fuck
like,
you."
what?
Megan
He's
wants-
crying over here about
Ding,
something
ding,
else.
ding.
And I'm like, what are we talking about, dude?
Yeah, yeah,
Fucking look up, you know? So
Yeah.
I learned that. And it was the best thing anyone's ever told me because he said it to me, but he said it in a kind way. And I was like, you're right.
You're like,
I
I
am
can receive this.
Yeah.
like stuffed with anxiety and I am very attached and clingy. And when he goes poop, I'm like, why'd you leave me?
100%.
You know?
I think I sway back and forth between the two in relationships. People would probably clock and say, "Oh, no, you liar! You're anxious attached." But I can be.
I was like, are you me?
No, I can be pretty leave me alone and I don't want to
Avoidant?
talk.
Yeah.
Let me get away. And
Yes,
Yeah.
I
I don't
can
want to
see
talk to
that.
anyone. But it really depends on what the other person is doing. And I think in relationships, you can like flip flop back and forth a little bit. But a lot of the time, someone reigns as the anxious attached person unless then you're both secure. You both have secure attachment, and that's gorgeous.
And you know where it
and
comes from? Our childhood.
Everything comes from your
Everything
childhood.
does. I'm reading
Everything.
books. It is
Yes.
crazy. How was your childhood, right?
You don't survive childhood, you just grow up.
You just
now, to
grow
go
up.
back to the tour,
Tour?
yes. Now, I will say, too, I hung out with you a lot in the bathroom as you cried. And
Oh, yeah.
we made up
We had a great
right
time.
after. Okay, I apologize.
There were
Oh,
plenty of
yeah.
times I also cried on tour, and Ryan was there, and it wasn't about him, and he was very comforting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he would come to me and go, he's crying again. But because he cared, he was like, heads up.
I go, heads up. Let's.
Heads
Yeah,
up.
but also,
Today's-
like,
But this
today's the
motherfucker
day.
always turned it on right before
Yeah,
showtime, dude. You'd be very,
Yeah.
very sad and then
Very professional.
and lock in.
That's why
And I go,
sometimes I would
"This is
stand by
it.
the
He's got
stage,
it."
you know?
Yes.
Because I'd be like, is he okay?
Yes.
You know?
I
And you
am.
were, and you killed it. And I was like, that was your best show ever.
Listen.
And I just love
there
the
have been
show.
so many moments in my life that have felt like the world is ending. But at this point, when I'm crying, like I don't think of it as high of stakes as it probably comes across, because I'm just
Yeah.
like, I need to get this out. Like before Red Rocks, when I was having like the biggest panic attack before any of the shows, right before Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Maybe you
I
didn't
don't
hear about that
remember
one because it
that.
was literally 5 minutes before I was supposed to go on. So
No,
I
it was
literally had to
Yeah,
go-
I missed it. That day was
insane
And
to
then I got
watch.
on
Wait,
stage.
I
why?
was just
Why were we
staring
crying
at
at
him.
Red Rocks?
He was.
there
It was
was
a whole
a
thing.
there was a yeah there was
Yeah. But he's backstage, shades on, just tears are still there, and he just and fucking go like
Jesus.
right before Red
Because
Rocks, and he
the show must go on.
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
It
It's
does.
crazy.
I go,
the
he's all
amount of
right.
we
He's got
had, what do
this.
we have, 26 shows?
Yeah.
I think 17 of them I was ill. I was like sinus infection, ill.
Yeah.
And I was
Sure.
living off of Aleve D. Like,
Yeah.
show must go on.
Also emotionally going through it after the
Yeah.
5th show or something. Yeah.
Oh, I went through a big emotional dynamite bomb
Yes.
that we won't talk about ever.
Yes.
Maybe. And so
That
that
added a whole nother factor.
that
Yeah,
was
exciting
crazy.
tour.
And the only thing that got me through it was you going, sack up. Show must go on. We got this. And it worked. I was like, you're right, dude. Show must go on. We're fine.
Yes.
And then I cry in the shower. Yeah,
yeah.
you really helped me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he seems to be fine. So then I should be fine.
Only a few
Yes.
shows left. There was
Yeah,
like so many.
there was
just 20.
26?
Like, only a few. It's
There-
almost over.
Just get up.
We
Just
literally,
fucking do
we
it.
weren't even halfway. And he's like, we're halfway. We're fine. You got this. And I was like,
Also,
I
when you
know
get
you're
on stage,
crumbling.
adrenaline takes over,
Yeah.
and you can almost
oh, yeah.
be
Black out,
autopilot in
yeah.
a way. Not in a way of like, oh, I'm just.
Except
doing
when your
this
songs
and-
are like singing about it.
Right,
too.
right,
That
right,
was
right.
fun.
that
That's-
too. That
was-
too.
that was
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would look at Rai and go, oh no,
Yes.
I have to sing it.
I think it's also because when I was in rehab, if you were becoming overcome with emotion at this certain rehab that I was at, and it started delaying what they were trying to get done, you would get in more and more trouble. And that's not to say that they were trying
Whoa.
to be like,
This rehab
stop
was
having
crazy.
emotions, but they were like, well, are you now just going to be selfish and take up everyone else's time by just crying about this?
Whoa.
And it's like, and by the way, you would be crying about like telling the group your 10 most shameful secrets, or telling them about a trauma you had been through. And these people didn't have zero sympathy. If you were talking about something that was very sensitive and it took you a second to get through, people would hold space for that. But if you were talking about a situation where you were in the wrong and you were crying, or you were having a little bit of a bad day and then didn't want to do the activity that you had to do in group that day, which would have been like, I don't know, telling the timeline of your life or something like that, you would be destroyed, and they would probably add a month to your treatment. So everything was about like, you can allow the emotion to come, but that cannot let it stop your life, which
That's kind
I'm
of
not here to say that whether
okay
that's
lesson.
completely correct or not. I think it's okay. It was, in a lot of ways, it just kept putting me back on my feet, because what they would do is just like knock you down and you would have to get up
Yeah.
every single time. But they're teaching you that no matter what happens when you leave rehab, when you get knocked down, you've picked yourself up so many times. So get back up without turning to drugs or anything. So I think that
That's
kind of
cool.
turned into it. I'm sure pre-rehab, if I were having a panic attack before like doing a show, even if it was theater and I had a small part, I probably would be like, I just can't do it. Like, we're gonna have to delay it or do it with someone else. Like, I would make an excuse or something. But because I had to go through that thing over and over again for a year, like that rehab was so long, and it was so developmental because I was 19 and 20, that now whenever I'm going through something a little tough, all I think is like, you have to keep picking yourself back up. which sometimes makes me invalidate my own feelings and sometimes makes me just ignore and stuff them. But also, what my therapist reminds me of a lot of the time is like, sometimes that's what you have to do for survival. Like,
Yeah.
we can't always just be open wounds, allowing things to penetrate us and hurt over and over again. Sometimes you have to
Put a
not
Band-Aid on.
validate a feeling, or if you're in conversation with someone who's determined to not understand you, there's no point in trying to continue to be open and soft with them. You can put up that wall and decide to finish this conversation the best way you can, because survival mode. And then when you get home and when you get to people you trust, you can process those feelings. And so that's what I felt like that night at Red Rocks. I was like, I'm not about to delay this show because I'm upset about something that might be traumatic but might not. So let me get out there, and then if I'm still feeling something
is.
15 minutes later, then I can continue crying about it. But like,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to
There's
happen
always,
with this
you
tour.
should write
I'm
a
gonna
ballad
cry.
called "There's Always Time to Cry."
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Should we do it together?
Don't steal that, you motherfuckers.
Just bleep all of those
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
There's always time to cry.
Hey,
Time to cry.
we've been recording a lot of backing vocals together for
We've been
this tour,
singing, and Chris
we're-
Olsen is a singer. He's like twice as good as he was on tour. I swear. He got a
Thank
new
you.
vocal coach who
I
does
did.
the stars.
The stars.
And
He's amazing. Shout out to Doug.
I record very fast and aggressively because I'm so used to it, doing it myself. And I call it, I punch him in, which sounds weird, but I press record and I give him like a second and he catches it every time. And he does everything in one take now. It's not like line by line.
But also what I've
Nice.
noticed,
Crazy.
which is how I know that she thinks I'm getting better, is she has a much easier time telling me when a take was bad. Because I think in the past you would have been like, okay, we're just going to try that one again. It was almost there.
Yeah.
I'll finish the take and you'll be like, no, again.
No,
And then,
I'll be like,
or you'd be like, what was that? Oh, so you're just making up your own tempo.
I said that today. I said,
She
oh,
literally-
so you're making up your own tempo.
and
That's cool.
But what's funny about it is like, I actually received that in like, I'm like, I'll fire back at you.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
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 I
you're
actually
like,
was. Because
I did, because I
know-
thought it was good like that. And I was
But I
like,
also
do it
know
again.
that you doing that means like, oh, now you're just like, what is being said in the room is truthful. Because also when you were like, when you gave me a compliment the last time we did it, it was specific and out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, that was you meant that. Even when I wasn't very good, when the first time we recorded together, where I was, one, hadn't been in vocal lessons in so long, and two, was so nervous to record with you.
Yeah, like never
You still
sang
made
on
it
a mic.
very comfortable and like a lovely
good.
experience. But it took us so much longer to record
It's
like
weird.
a few lines.
Recording with me is weird. I do it to every artist I work with, and like songwriter or a friend. I go in the booth with you, and whether you like it or not, and I stand next to you and I hold your hand and I say 5, 6, 7,
Yes.
8, 8, go.
Yeah.
And sometimes he said it to me. He's like, "Can you do the hand thingy?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
The hand thing is great.
Hand thing is great.
I
I've
think,
done it
I
with
think
you
what
too.
he's saying is he's gotten to a point where he's much better.
Yeah,
and
you
you can
are
be
much better.
more like
honest.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
No,
not
she
as
can.
like,
I'm like,
it's
sorry,
lovely.
do it again. Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
like, wow, that was one.
Yes.
So let's do another one just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'll be like,
And I'm
okay,
like,
now
nope,
do it
do it
again, but
again.
actually like mean it.
Yeah.
And then I'll
Yeah.
do it. But then that by the second take that I do it, you're like,
You're so
that was
good at getting instructions too, and like literally doing
you.
exactly what I
A
asked.
theater student. I
That's
just
hard.
absorb.
Some people I'm like, hey, can you work on pitch or timing? And they just do exactly the same thing. And I'm like, so can you know?
Sure. It must be also hard working sometimes with. Well, no, I'll speak for myself. I think the reason that I'm able to maybe take it more is because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You love to
You know
take
what
it.
you're doing. If you're working with another musician, they might be like, well, this is how I would do it, which is not to say that's wrong, right or wrong, but like then there can be more clashes. Whereas I'm here to say yes to whatever you think is right because I know you're right. That being said, there are certain times when I'm like, I feel like when I've sung through something and you're like, oh, is that how it's supposed to be? And I'm like, yeah. And then
Yeah.
you're like,
Also,
okay.
we're
And
doing
then I'm like, well,
some
that's it.
songs I don't know. So I was like, I don't know this, Chris. You tell me what to sing. Like, you tell me what to do.
But I'm getting like, it is mind blowing.
Confidence.
Well, yes, that, but it's mind blowing to me. Like, I'm so grateful that you do these things for me. And it's you don't understand like how when I'm there, I'm like, no one, if anyone else were doing a tour like this, like who has a pop star to help cut their vocals and then also lay down some harmonies and do all of this stuff too. Like none of this would have been possible without, I mean, none of this literally, like there's so much that wouldn't have happened without you, but also
I wouldn't have a TikTok career without
sure.
you.
Oh my God. Huge. Crystal Thin. Yes.
You do the same thing for me. You keep me young and cool.
I appreciate it. Thank you. But
I feel 16
this
with
is,
you.
this is a praise you moment. And it just
Yes.
really is
Thank you.
really, really amazing. And what's even more fun about it is like, I'm low key getting these, like, I'm getting Meghan Trainor covers of these songs.
If you go to the show, you will hear me singing
You will
all night
hear it.
long.
Yes, no,
And we're
truly.
singing Bibbidi Bops.
Throughout every single act of the show.
I kind of
Meghan-
selfishly did it for me too, so that when I'm in the audience, I'm like,
Oh my
me.
God.
Yeah.
No, and it's so good. I mean, there was one that people will hear that you did the backing vocals to all on your own. And I was like feeling iffy about that song a few days before you had sent it. I was like, well, it was feeling like, it's a very repetitive song. I don't know how I feel about it. And then you sent the backing vocals, and the first time I ever sang it through with them, I was like, oh, it's perfect.
It's a smash.
It's a perfect song because you
It's
also
great.
filled in all of the parts that I was feeling. I mean, that's like the concert / tour hack that everyone is doing. Is everything is in the production.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Like if I had to get up there, I have so much respect for the people who get up there with a piano and that's that. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And there are certain songs that I'm going to be doing that where it's just me and like one vocal, but the backing vocals that you have helped lay down are really changing everything.
Yeah,
And
Thank
you
you.
for
I love you. That's how I show
and Shri
love.
too. Thank you to Shri
Thank you,
because my God, she was
Shri.
laying down some.
And
Should we give a preview?
Yeah, I
of
was going to say,
just,
do you want to play something? I could plug your phone into
Well-
this. Genetics can be beautiful. Maybe you got your mom's eyes or her great skin, but genetics can also be a nightmare. You know, I got buddies, I hear them all the time, dude, I got my dad's dad bod. What happened to me? We're hitting our 30s, right? He's just morphing into his father. He's like, I didn't think I'd turn out this way. I played quarterback in high school. Don't let genetics be a thing that holds you back from getting the body you deserve. Check out the Permanent Solutions by Sono Bello.
Our friends at Sono Bello are offering you their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but you've got to act now because appointments are limited.
They're limited. Watch out. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, an amazing technique that removes stubborn fat permanently.
Take care of your problem areas, whatever they may be, in just one comfortable visit. And look, this doesn't replace working out or eating well, but if you've got stubborn fat that just needs to go away, visit our friends at Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/workingonit. That's sonobello.com/workingonit.
I just need y'all to know that one day Shree's going to put out music and it's going to mess
And
you
then when it-
up because it's so good. The one I didn't sing on.
Oh. Let
No,
me pick
this
it.
is nice. Do it. It's gorgeous. I recorded
Well, let's
it.
play.
Well, he said
we'll play
Shri.
a quick.
Oh, yeah. Let's show
I'm
what
gonna
Shree
give you-
Show what Shree did.
Here's a little.
I'm yelling back there. Okay, so that's a little clip of that, and then here's all three of us.
Club Chris Tour.
We're only getting older, baby.
That's all three of us.
And I've been thinking
I'm gonna be sobbing.
about it lately. Does it ever drive you
We
crazy?
should be in a band.
Just how fast the night changes.
Wow, that's all
Now
you
what?
get.
Yeah,
That's all you
yes,
get.
and also it'll
It's not even
probably
mixed.
yeah, exactly. It's probably
We
going to
just
change
did that
and be
2
a
hours
little
ago.
reverby, and there will be a lot changed to it. And I'm obviously going to be singing over it.
The
Those are our
lead, yeah.
backing vocals. But it just sounds. I'm so excited to now sing
Yay.
those every night because of what we've done with that. It's going to be so fun.
Yay. Right. Why haven't you asked for background vocals from me?
I'm
He's
pressing
singing.
You're pressing
play
play.
and
But
smiling
you're
and
also
dancing
dancing.
with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are doing more.
We should get you some light up sunglasses or something.
Right.
A jock strap. Well, we are doing a lot. We planned your set lists
Yeah.
that will also
Give
move
us a
and
little
shift.
tease. Tell us what's to come.
Well, I have an entire set list just for the theater kids.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Yes,
so nice of
because-
you. Because you're not a theater kid.
No, and I explained it in a YouTube video I just dropped. Shout out
Oh,
Ryan Trainor TV on
Ryan
YouTube.
Trainor TV.
And I explained that I played sports in high school. Unfortunately, should have just been a theater kid. But now, finally,
okay.
theater at 32, I'm blossoming
A theater
into a
kid.
theater kid.
Yes.
Me too. As am I.
I don't know shit
It's
about it.
'cause the
I
but
went
I've
to
learned so
Sunset
much.
Boulevard
Yes, and you cried.
and I cried.
Nicole Scherzinger is giving
Oh my gosh.
everything
Oh my gosh.
and her life.
She's
in
giving
that
everything in her life.
performance.
She deserves every award there ever was. But after the show, I went to say hi to her because we're friends.
Yeah, you
And
have a song
she
together.
said-
Listen to Genetics.
Did I tell you this? She said, I knew you were coming tonight, so I dedicated the show to you. So every time I sang my big notes, I thought Meghan Trainor.
Damn, she's
And I
good.
started sobbing
And what's
backstage.
crazy
I
is
started
there was another
sobbing.
pop star there, and she didn't
There was
dedicate
another
it
pop
to
star.
her.
She picked me. She
So-
chose me. She loved me. What?
That's crazy.
I was like, can you say it a little bit louder for the room? You know, I was dying.
And
I
also,
love her.
I
I
mean,
love you,
the-
Nicole.
The vocals that she's doing
The-
in that.
And like, I
Every-
discovered that when we were doing Genetics together,
Yeah,
a song with
yeah.
the Pussycat Dolls. She was just wailing, and she was like, "Oh, I just love to wail," and I was like, "I can't just wail. I can't just
No,
sing
she's a
like that."
freak.
She's doing that. She does have a cover, but I think like 6 or 7 times a week.
Oh yeah.
And imagine doing that twice a day.
Mm-mm. I couldn't do it once a day. Are you kidding me?
That in actually Easter egg. I will be singing one of those songs
Ooh.
in a little bit of a different context, and I'm not going to try to Nicole it, but Sunset Boulevard is one of my favorite shows. As you've now seen that show, it's incredible.
It's incredible.
Incredible. So
And I think what's going to be extra fun about this show is we want everyone to sing along with us.
Yes.
Every
Oh my
song,
God,
right? You want
yes.
it's a sing along.
This is a
no?
big-
there will be many
Kumbaya.
moments that I will be having the lyrics on the screen
Yes.
bouncing across.
We'll help
the-
you. I'm like,
you
I'm
know?
not even there. I'm like, we will help
We will. Well,
you sing.
you will be helping with those backing vocals that you lay down that
Yes,
are
I will
helping
be. I
support
technically
them
will be there every night in your ears.
every night. Ryan and I have gone through our set list together because I have 3 acts to it. So Ryan also essentially has 3 acts in his, and then we come together at the end. But like,
We're
will
going to come
finish-
together at the end.
They're gonna finish together, and that's beautiful.
Sure. But I will do a set that's like very theatery. So then he'll play some theater music, and then I'll
And
do a
pop.
set that's more poppy, and then we'll play
We'll
pop
play
music.
pop, yeah.
And there's
Oh,
Glee
that's
covers.
good. You
and
blended
there's-
it up.
Yeah, blend
Yeah,
the,
we're
the two
blending, we're
worlds.
You know
having-
me, I'm gonna be like, I don't know this song, Chris.
Sure.
But you
And
will
we
love it by
also-
the end of
But
it.
I would love it.
Of course, we made some videos to accompany each act.
Yes, I saw a clip of those, and they were hilarious.
They're going to be very fun. Ryan is in his acting bag. I play myself 3 times, but in 3 different eras. There's a lot of fun stuff
Wow.
going on.
Yeah, you had like old makeup on. Makeup.
Yes, I
makeup.
sure
Old
did. I
makeup
sure
on.
did. And what I want, what I have said this before, but what I want to reiterate is that when we're doing a tour like this, it's not about the money because we're not really going to be making any. In
Nope.
fact, I will probably lose some because of how expensive those videos were. But what I care about is giving people a good show, and those
Yeah.
videos were integral to that.
Yeah.
And so the videos are going very well, and I'm really excited that I made them. And hopefully, I don't know, I can recoup that money and make it back. But if I don't, I'm happy that I made the videos.
It's for the art.
Yes. And they, at the end of tour, or I think also before, I'll at least post like one clip of one. So everyone will be able to enjoy those at some point. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's really, that was another just callback to what we were talking about before, where people were like, Club Chris is marketing, and now he's just making so much money on tour.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now,
What?
you don't make
Oh,
money on
no.
tour. No,
Unless we end up running for like a year and a half, then
Yeah.
maybe we'll start like
yeah,
making.
but this is 10
rent
shows.
back,
So
Get
this
us
but,
to
is
like,
Europe. Get
this
us
is-
to
yeah,
Get
this
us
is-
to Europe. This
I
is
think it's
genuinely because
13.
they want to do this. They
14.
they
wanna
just
be with
want to
the
have
people. We
fun.
miss tour. We miss tour.
You miss
Well,
tour.
no, I mean, if it goes well, and then we get to do it in Europe, once again, we will not make money in Europe.
Actually, true.
No,
We
you
would
will
be there for the
lose
food.
money
We would
in
be
Europe.
there for the food and the people.
That's why
I think
I
it would
haven't
probably
gone
be
there.
if we end up then being able to do a second
Yeah.
US leg, that then it's like, oh, you're getting close to breaking even.
Yeah,
But all of it is really just about the fun of it all. I mean, Broadway is not the most lucrative business out there. Theater in general is not the most lucrative. So I wasn't setting out to be a performer because I was going to start raking it in. So
It's
the
what you
performing
love.
part of it, yeah, it's really just what I love and what I'm really excited to
beautiful.
do. Yes.
performing's the hardest part for me. out of this whole thing.
You think?
I love being a studio rat and
Oh,
just sitting
sure.
in there and cooking.
I just love
Well, there's-
traveling and eating at different
Ugh,
spots and seeing all the
couldn't-
people. I just can't get
couldn't
enough of
care.
traveling.
I hate the traveling.
If
I
I
love
break
being
even
in
and get to
different
travel, I'm good.
places.
We'll do a lot of
I
content
love seeing
traveling.
new cities and going to the Children's Museum
Yes,
everywhere
the
there
times
was.
that you would leave
the times I would leave the hotel. Hi, Riley. But yeah, I think it's because I have motion sickness. Getting in the bus and just this was my nightmare, rocking back and forth.
Yeah. Well, we're
don't-
not
we
doing
don't
a
have a
bus
bus.
because
Not
we
doing a
can't
bus.
afford it.
Can afford it.
But it's really gonna
Budgeting.
be. It's gonna be like bros on the road. You know what I mean?
Bros
We're
on the
gonna be-
road.
Bros on the road,
Like that's
dude.
truly what it's gonna be.
So
There
cute.
are times we're taking trains between cities, and there's like a table that has 4 seats, and it's gonna be just all 4 of us, just kind of like sitting together in between each
Stop
tour
it.
stop. Like I don't know, just either talking or not talking because I'll already not want to speak to anyone by that point. You know what I
I
mean?
know. I was like, you have to sit together.
No, we will definitely. I don't. There was never a point at which I felt like I was like, oh, I just want to be away from everyone.
That's good. I thought you might have.
No, it really wasn't that. If anything, it was when I went back to LA in the middle of tour for that few days that I was like, I'm alone.
We
I'm
missed you so much. We
alone.
hated it. We hated not having you there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I say yeah. I'm like, well, obviously.
Yeah, you did.
Right.
No,
No,
it
I
was-
think I'm gonna really enjoy being around people because at the end of the day, like, I'm good at finding my alone time, and I find it no matter what. Like when we were in those random cities, Ryan and I would hang out for a bit, and then we would split and just like go do our separate things. I would like find a coffee shop or go like meet up with whatever friend I had in that city, and then
Yeah,
we'd
you guys had
come
a
back
lot of
and-
time to.
Yeah, we would do a lot. But
Kill.
we are going to explore. That's one thing because part of the content that we're going to be able to make while we're traveling is going to be so fun too.
Yes, it is. And
Yes.
I can't wait for more videos where your heads are really big.
360
and, yeah,
cam,
360
yeah.
Yes,
cam.
we need to bring
I
those
am
back.
also, I really, really, really want you to film the meet and greets and
You
have
really do.
permission because that's my favorite part. And I
Okay.
didn't do that on my tour because of the children. And I didn't want to get like,
Oh, you didn't do
Yeah,
the meet
so-
and greets
I didn't do meet
because
and greets.
of-
Yeah, I was hanging out with my kids.
And you missed the meet and greets.
Meet and greets are fascinating and fun and awesome. And I cannot wait. You guys are doing meet and greet at every show.
No, I've never done that before.
What a blessing. Please go get your VIP tickets to go.
I've seen
meet
so
these
many and
two.
like taken pictures of so many.
Yeah,
that
you've
I'm like,
done
I got
so
this.
many
I
pictures
got
I'm
with
this.
me.
excited. I'm excited. I'm very excited to meet people. I also feel like when I'm in that certain environment where it's like, we're gonna. What's tough about when you meet someone out in the wild? If I'm headphones on in New York walking somewhere and then someone stops me, I'm not prepared to.
Had that interaction.
I'm just like, oh my God, I forgot. People are perceiving me. Like I don't even remember who I am when someone stops
Oh,
me.
and
So, but a lot of the
still,
time
yeah.
it's still a good time. And I'm like, oh my God, hi. And I'm like, I remember who I am for a second because someone stops me and almost like clockwork every single time I'm either one, scared and I jump and they're like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry. Like they'll tap me and I'm like, oh. And then they're like, no, I didn't mean to do that. I'm like, no, I don't know why I yelled. It's just, we don't. Or I'm confused as to if I know them already.
Yes, that's me.
They'll tap
I'm like,
me
hey.
and I'm like, oh my God, hi. And they're like, I love your content. And I'm like, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
And then we
yeah.
get there. But in this environment, you know, I'm going to be meeting people who we're just excited to meet each other. Honestly, what we've said is it's going to be hard to move them in the time limit that
you
we
yeah,
have?
to keep it
because
going.
my
We're gonna
God,
get
you're supposed
stuck,
to.
You know, we're
How
gonna,
many
like,
do you have?
Gotta talk to you forever.
I don't know per show how many it is.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know. But
You'll
yeah,
figure it out. The first one will be chaos, and then
Right.
it'll get.
I know. I'm just like
smoother.
I
It's a
know
lot
that
of catching up.
someone will be helping run it, and they'll be the one that are kind of like being like, all right, let's we have time slots, but I'm gonna want to talk to people.
Oh, that was my.
oh my
I
God,
would
how
get
am I gonna be-
yelled. I would get screamed at
Yeah.
by like
Yes,
my team and
someone's
my
gonna start telling me
security guard.
I don't know, a story or
Yeah.
something,
They
and they're gonna be like,
still
okay,
do.
time's up, and I'm gonna be like, what?
No,
No,
because you're
no, I'm
human
not done.
and you're me, dude. And
I need
we're
to
like,
hear the tea. Like,
No,
tell
they're-
me.
yeah, they'll give me their whole life stories, and I'm like, I'm here to listen. And
I know.
I cannot
I'm
wait.
ready. Like,
I love
oh my
it.
God, wait, should we just stop and sit down? Do you want to go somewhere? Come back to
The
the dressing
last
room.
one,
Let's
the
talk.
last
Like,
meet and greet we had was the hardest, I think, because it was like 5 hours or something. Remember for promo for
Yeah.
Timeless
Barnes
Store
and
album,
Noble?
Barnes and Noble.
that was
It was
the
hard to
second one
get
of the
there.
day.
It was like the second one of the day.
That was
and
the
it
day I decided.
it
I
went
go,
over
I'm
like
gonna
3
use
hours.
London,
nicotine
yeah.
again. No, it
No,
was
in
New York.
New York,
It was the
outside of
second
New
one.
York. And I was exhausted. We were
Yeah.
all exhausted. And Ryan's taking the pic. And towards the end, there was one girl that's like, yeah, I came here with my grandma. And I go, Grandma, get in the pic.
Oh my God.
And Ryan goes, no, Grandma, on to the next.
Oh my God.
Tell your grandma we love her. Have a good night. Have a good night. Keep it
Because
moving.
she's like, I don't know where she
Where
is.
is
I
she?
get
And I
Find
was
my
like,
grandma.
that's gonna be
oh,
Ryan's vibe while we're
man.
doing these meet and greets. And then we're gonna fight. And then I'm gonna
No,
have to, and
he's
then I'm
never
gonna start
been on
crying.
that side. When someone comes up to Rai, he's very sweet
Ryan
and
and I-
very
Ryan-
like, oh my goodness.
Me and someone are gonna be hugging and like crying, and Ryan's gonna be like, "You have to move
I'll
on.
be like, "Dude, keep
Get
it
away from
moving."
us."
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I
Come
remember
on.
there was one
No,
time when I
he's
was in
soft.
like San Francisco and I was walking around and a girl stopped me and we were oh my God. I'm now realizing I do way too much. These meet and greets are going to be so hard. There was
Yep.
one girl I ran into in New York and she was talking about how she was so sad she couldn't go to Sabrina Carpenter. Bought her Sabrina Carpenter tickets on the spot. I was literally
Christopher, no.
because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go.
Do you know how many
Or
people
maybe
are
I'd
going to ask
already
you for
been.
Sabrina
you.
Carpenter tickets now?
Hey,
Don't even think about it
well,
out there.
also she's international now, and listen, that was the other thing too. I think had she just
Do it
been like,
once,
"Will
they
you
want
buy
it
me
all.
Sabrina Carpenter tickets?" I would have been like, "Oh, I don't know if I can." But she was just talking. She was just talking about it, and I just felt like, well, I can probably get you
know what
tickets.
that
So
is?
let me get you.
That's our people pleasing problem.
Well, it's also our gift giving love language. and
Yes,
it's a
it is. I
thing-
am a
it's-
gift giver.
Yes, gift giver. Then there was
People are
this
like-
girl in San Francisco who I started talking to, and then she was like, we were both walking in the same direction. So I was like, should we just walk? We
Should
end
we
up
just hold
still
hands?
walking together. We end up basically like sitting down to dinner together. I just
oh my God.
my heart is open. And that's why I always say online, I'm like, I don't want to become this like hardened, jaded person because of the haters on the internet, because I love being a little sensitive boy who just wants to talk to you and hang out. When I did that whole Christmas thing where I was like doing giveaways for Christmas, I overdrafted one of my bank accounts. I went way too hard. But at the end of the day, I could still pay my rent. I could still eat food. So at the end of the day, I just want to,
you love it.
whether
You're a
it's
Capricorn.
time, a little gift or something like that. It's just so lovely to give. But that's what's going to be hard about the fucking
Meet and
The fucking meet and greets,
greet.
bro. I'll
Because-
keep it moving.
You've been
Don't
turning
worry.
straight sometimes. I think you're hanging out with Ryan too much.
about
the Yeah.
motherfucking
I'm like,
greets, I
fucking
Whoa,
guess.
whoa, whoa. You were just like right here, and then you were like, fuck it, bro.
That's what it'd be
I'm like,
like.
That's
oh.
right.
fuck.
Well, I actually just kind of, it's because I was suddenly aware that I was just kind of like talking up here for so long about how much I love giving
And I
gifts
got her
to
Sabrina
everyone.
Carpenter
tickets.
And I got her some Sabrina Carpenter tickets, so that's what's going to be hard about the fucking
Yeah,
meet and greets, I guess.
fucking-
Like, I don't know why am I even telling these stories? You know what I mean?
know. No, they're
We
actually-
ramble.
I
That's what
love
the
them.
podcast is for. We got to get
Yes,
it
you get to
out.
ramble.
Blech.
And I just have a moment to give you flowers and tell you thank you so much for letting me join you on this Club Chris tour.
Oh my
and
God.
being your DJ now.
You're going to be a
Yeah, who-
lifesaver. It's going to be very,
Do
well,
we
I
know
can't-
who's the one that's like you two?
what?
Who decided this should happen?
Was
I
it
think
my
it was
manager
Terra Live
Tommy?
Nation.
I think it was Tommy
MSG,
too.
bro, and Tommy. It was MSG, and I was like,
No
I'm
way.
like, I'm
It
going
was
out. I'm
never-
going out on stage, and I'm gonna fucking put on a show. Like
Yeah.
that was the show. I was like, I'm locked in.
I've never
and
been
I-
more blown away.
And Chris also very locked in, put on a fucking show.
I
And
was
so
there.
I think they
I
were
was-
like, yeah, fuck it, they can do it on their own.
They could
Like,
tour.
yeah,
Because they saw
Yeah.
the crowd loved you.
right.
Well,
The crowd usually doesn't
Live
like pay
Nation-
attention to openers. You know,
Oh.
it's very rare
sometimes I feel like it's
Sometimes
been a
they do,
trend
yeah.
that openers have blown the fuck up.
because they
Yeah.
started to notice like, oh, these
Yes.
openers are cool. And Taylor Swift made it really cool to be an opener, like
Yeah.
on her
and
tour.
Olivia Chapel Roan was opening for
Exactly,
Olivia, and
yeah.
here she is. I remember after the very first performance I did with you guys in, where was it, Ohio, Live Nation came up to me and was like, "We're ready to offer you your own tour." They weren't saying that in a way of like, "Here it is," but then I think as we went on, as we saw how I was over these shows
when
and how
you
I
two
would get
started,
emotional
like,
and
then
stuff.
when you
And then
started
we started
dancing.
doing stuff
Forces.
together. I just felt like it made so much sense for us to do this together.
Yeah, people love
I don't remember.
seeing you
I
guys
don't think it was
together.
anyone's specific idea. I think it just started happening. It was like, oh yeah, and then Ryan and Chris will do this. It wasn't.
I
Like,
remember
we
like
should.
hearing it for the first time. Like, do you think they would? I think they asked me like, do you think they would? And I was like, maybe. Like,
Oh my god!
I was like, I don't know about Ryan. Like, I don't know if he wants to, but like he might want to.
I'm always down for a good time.
And
I'm
then
like,
you
yeah,
were like,
fuck it.
that's my dream. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's his dream, guys. I don't even know.
I would say yes to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
I
wanted
know
to
you
be
want
able
to be a
perform
performer.
again.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It felt so
he
good
just
up
looked
there.
exhausted every day. So I was like, I don't know if Ryan wants to do this round two. But
I need it, bro. I need
March
a
will be
fucking something
great.
to do.
Yeah.
It's great for me.
It's
so
also
good.
great weather. and you'll be inside. So
Yeah, inside.
we
Great
were like,
weather.
sorry, I'm like big on.
You're in amphitheaters, dude. We're
I
just doing
always,
House of
yeah,
Blues,
but that
baby.
an amphitheater is outside.
They're
and there's
so
no air
cool.
conditioning. It is beautiful. It is so cool. But 3 shows,
Arizona was tough.
3
can be
of my shows
dry.
were indoors out of 26.
Yeah.
So the math on that
Very
was really
humid.
tough. And I didn't know.
Carolinas.
I didn't know until day 1 because I didn't bother looking it up.
Sure.
And I go, what's the
What?
next one? They go,
That's
outside.
crazy.
Yeah, because I don't know. I assumed there was more little mini,
Definitely.
what are they called? Arenas. I thought there was like little mini college arenas everywhere. And I was like, oh, we'll be doing those. No, we were
I
outside.
also
2.
downplayed the weather. It was much hotter than I intended.
It's
Yeah.
so fucking hot
We went-
sometimes.
I'm
And then it would
very-
be freezing
Yeah.
sometimes.
I'm very excited for our kind of venues.
I'm so pumped.
That's
Like you
just
guys,
gonna
will,
be
you're not going
loud
to eat
and
any
fun.
bugs. I must have ate 10 bugs on that tour, worth every bug.
Of
But
course.
dear God, I was like, like was not fun.
It's
Yeah.
just gonna be such a party in like those venues.
Clubs
Oh my
and theaters.
God.
Also, like theaters is what that's where I get on stage at a theater and I'm home. I feel like I've arrived. Why are you laughing?
Because
It's true. No,
you do.
thank you.
You really
You
thrived
might-
in the
maybe
arenas.
you-
You were
yeah.
like, you were like,
Arenas
oh,
were amazing,
you're like,
but
"I get
almost
this.
too
Is it too
scary.
much?"
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm like, Jesus, this is so many
Oh,
people.
I
I have
love
never
it.
prepared for this. I love it. But also, being an opener, when you're in an arena, you see very much
Yeah, the
You
lights
how many
are
too
people
on.
much.
are not there.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
I
yeah.
never really saw that as like oh my God, I'm feeling so discouraged. But when there's that slight seed of doubt that's like, no one knows who you are.
Mm.
Then when I step out there, I'm like, should I just go, you guys? Would you rather she just comes on? Let
I
me
think
just
you
bring
said
her
that
out.
one night, and I was like, hey.
Yeah, I think it was Philly because it was
Yeah.
really that
Some crowds were rowdy.
And like, was it
even
was
when
it,
I was
not that I was,
was it Dallas? I feel like one of those Dallas or Houston shows. You were like,
oh, I said something in the South
Dallas.
about being gay.
Yeah,
and
you were
was
like, I am gay. Don't be alarmed.
No,
like,
and then I yes, and I was like ready for the laugh.
and no
I
one
was like
laughed.
saying something about being gay, and then I heard some. Granted, I had the in ears in, so you can't really hear
Yes.
much unless it's like a big sound.
Yeah,
So I heard maybe a few chuckles, but I was like, oh,
you came off stage in between
Okay.
me, and I was like, you're killing it.
that
and you
wasn't
were
a
like,
hit.
it's
I
not
don't think
okay.
They like me. I don't think they
yeah,
like
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
No, but also
But that was also the same show that you jumped down into the pit and became like put it
Oh,
on
probably.
because you were like, you don't like me? Watch this. And then you
I didn't say
stole the
that.
show. No.
But yes,
But it was like that.
You know what was nice is I never really walked away from a performance on that tour being like, that wasn't good and that's why I'm upset. I never like cried after a performance because I thought it was so
Yeah.
bad. Cried a lot after rehearsals.
Yes, you
But that
did.
was when I was getting it out. I was like,
Yeah,
this is
get it
so
out
bad.
now.
I'm horrible. I'm horrible.
Yeah.
I'm horrible. But then I would come in every day at like 7 or 8 a.m. and sing with the in-ears before. Then I would stay late and sing with them again
Yeah,
and
you
just
put
try
in
to
the
make it
work.
work.
the
and-
only complaints I had was like my shit wasn't loud enough right
Oh,
before
yeah.
Megan went on.
And they did that
And
to you
so-
on purpose.
And I can't wait for this tour because it's going to be very loud and it's going to be
Okay, so we'll pass out
Earplugs.
earplugs
No,
at
it's
the
not
meet
going to
and
be that loud,
greets.
but it's just going to be like it's in these clubs. It's going to be a party, and I won't have to worry about any of that shit.
There
We're just
also
gonna-
have been a lot of people who have asked, like, "Oh, my 13-year-old daughter wants to come. Can she come? Is this family?" Yes. We're not about to be doing crazy stuff on there.
No.
Even in the
Remember,
videos,
they're sober.
we're sober. Even in the videos, any curse words I've bleeped because I'm just
Yeah.
like, we just don't need those. There are some
We
double
love a family
entendre
show.
jokes, but for the most part,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say.
and songs have
things that are
swears in it, but they're
crazy.
pop songs that are popular.
Bring the
Kids are
fam
singing
because
them,
I am
you know?
ready to sing some High School Musical.
I'm playing
with
High School
the
Musical. Yep.
girlies. I'm ready to
Glee.
sing some
Ryan's got a lot
Glee.
of glee.
ready to sing some One Direction with the girlies.
Yes.
Like it will be a show for all.
It's a show for all. It's just like your show, Megan. Like it's a show for
Big love fest.
yes.
the whole
Everyone
fam.
is welcome,
Yeah.
and we're just spreading love. I love that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, and we're singing together. I make my crowds sing.
We're singing together.
Like, this side, go.
You guys are going to be singing with me and Megan because she's all over those backing tracks.
I'm so
and
selfish.
Tree.
I'm like, I'm there every night.
I'm really excited. No, my God, I would not want to edit any other way. I'm also really excited to just hear how these all sound put together when I'm like singing
Me
through
too.
a mic and all of the reverb
Remember,
in the room
ask for
and all of that
reverb,
stuff.
yes.
Of course.
I'm like, remember my babies? I know your
Sun
lighting is
blinding.
ass right
the
now.
Sun, well, the sun is setting. The
Yeah.
camera's about to
We've
die.
never
We
shot
gotta
right
wrap
now.
this
We gotta
up.
wrap. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, did you have a voicemail you wanted to hear? or
No.
Oh, all right.
Nope. we
Just cut that.
don't call.
No. We just, it's like been an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Hey, Chris.
Yappers.
Love you, missed you.
Loved you. Loved
Loved
you.
you. Goodbye.
I loved you
I loved
for
you.
a long time.
Thank
and
you,
no
Working
more.
on it, listeners.
Thank you so much for listening.
Where can they find you, Chris? Links below.
You guys don't need to find
what's the
me.
website to buy tickets? Please get your
Ticketmaster.
tickets. Hometown. Do not disappoint me. Do not disappoint him. Show up.
Go to
Sell out the show.
clubchris.com
/tour. Yep.
There are still some meet and greet packages available. What I think there's more importantly is if you already have a ticket, you can upgrade to a meet and greet. I think we added those on because the meet and greet sold out almost immediately.
Ooh.
Thank you. So we added Live Nation said this is what we can do to add on to it. So there's that. And then there's some of the shows I know Chicago is sold out. New York night 1 is sold out. So we added another night in New York.
Yeah,
So
pull up to
Holy
that night.
shit.
Pull up to Philly, Houston.
New York, Philly, Houston.
And New York night 2 is also on a Monday, which is Broadway's day off. So if you're planning on seeing a show, you still can come see a show.
New York, do you hear that?
Yeah, so please. Philly, yeah. And then the rest of them, yes, please come. I can't say to the data of how many of the like VIP packages are available. That being said, there's some there's the option to upgrade if you do get the regular ticket. I don't know all of the information. Go to clubchris.com, please.
Go to their Instagrams and go to the tag link. But also, we should just yell, "Go to Club Chris Tour." We look terrible. 1, 2, 3. Go to Club Chris Tour.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be better. Okay. Love you so
Love
much.
you.
Bye, mommy.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Thanks for listening and watching.